Do you want early access? Do you want uncut reactions? If so, then check out our Patreon. Link in the description down below. We are on the last 2 episodes of ReZero Season 2. We're finally caught up on this series. 50 friggin' episodes. I'm gonna kind of miss it. I mean, this is a good series. They've done a pretty damn good job of world building, and it's taken on a life of its own, and I'm excited.
It's still cool. I think the season has just put a bit of a damper on my excitement for the series. I hope that next season picks back up and pacing towards like that of the first.
I hope so too, because, well,
to be honest, like I'm gonna be like waiting for the next one, but I'm kind of at this point excited to move on to something different.
Yeah, episode 49. Choose me. I'm wondering what the hell's gonna happen here. I mean,
choose you, Pikachu.
So I guess let's go ahead and get into this. Here we go. Hey. Don't freeze yourself to death. Aw. That's sweet. Yep.
そんなバカな。やられた。戦いを始める前に不安がってた通りになる。僕はそれを引き伸ばしに行くよ。
Oh gee, I don't know. Think for yourself. Oh.
なんてすごく大変だったじゃん。わしら複製体の説明をで術の発動を引き伸ばし、皆を救うために尽力し、力を使い果たされた。氷の壁を作って。
Now what?
だから泣くのは全部後回し。私の好きな人。
Because Ryu's is fully back in that body. I think that's what happened.
I don't know if that's the case. I think it's just more that like they're all their own individuals now. Because she's sad right now because the original is gone, along with the other one that was like the one of the main ones.
凍ってる場合じゃないのよ。
He doesn't know what to do with himself. Hey!
生きてる。大丈夫。まだ間に合うわ。ないんだわ。だから私はこれ以上誰のことも諦めたりなんかしない。
Oh!
There they are.
And...
スイタ君。ロズワールとラムをお願い。
Ah, it's just a harmless little bunny, isn't it? And...
君を迎えに来るはずだ。ベティを迎えに。仮にその人としておこうか。
Unless she's been alone.
お母様の言葉通り。
So
ベティはロズワールの。
God damn it.
Oh.
I think she moved the library.
Damn it!
Oh, fuck.
That's usually not a good sign. Yep. Wow, really? You gotta slap him? Ah! Guess who's back?
もうどうなっても知らないのよ。
Alright. So Beatrice finally broke out of that bullshit ideology that someone had to come and save her. Instead, she chose for herself. Thank God. There you go. Beatrice is now free of the library, and she's now free to do as she pleases. Thank goodness. Because in all honesty, you know, her being locked up in there, you know, an entity as powerful as she is, I just feel like it's a waste. You know, especially for her abilities and what she can do. It's like, damn, there's so much potential for her to do stuff. They never commit to it she never commits to it because she's always been waiting. She's a lady in waiting, basically.
She has like the whole thing like, you'll just leave eventually, and it's like, that's why you have to learn to live for yourself instead of just other people too.
Exactly. I mean, other people can come into your life and be a part of it and make an impact on you, but those other people don't have to be your entire lives. It's not how that works.
So you kind of have to use it as a reference from another show, because the concept of people who live a really long time is like not a thing that we can talk about as people, because life is kind of short as people, you know. So, but Freerun.
Yeah.
Freerun lives for a really, really, really long time and sees lots of people come and go, but she doesn't like dwell on that and let that bring her down, you know. Like it took her a long time to learn to appreciate people who have shorter lifespans. It seems like in a bigger way, but like she's always lived for herself, and she exists through her long lifespan because she wants to do things and has something that she wants to do, basically. So
yes, her hunt for grimoires is basically what fuels her.
Oh, and before that, it was like, you know, her basically acknowledged that one day her master wanted her to be the one to seek out and defeat the Demon King. So
that's the other thing
she
too.
waited
Yeah,
patiently until the right people came along and picked her up to go do that.
and it worked out.
That's kind of what Betty was trying to do. She was trying to wait for the right person to come along to pick her up to go do something as well, but as opposed to Freerun, like, you know, keeping herself occupied with certain tasks, like she was mostly sitting in a library reading the same books over and over again. It's like eventually that has to get pretty boring.
Especially after seeing so many people enter and leave and enter and leave and enter and leave. And then the one dude that enters and just like makes an impact, it's like, wait, are you the one? No, I don't. And then basically before he can explain himself, she pushes him out because it's not what she wants to hear. It's like, Jesus, you are such a child. But, alright. Anywho.
Also, I was just going to say, I don't really know how I feel about this episode overall. I like the first part of it.
I did too.
With Amelia and Roswell and stuff, but once they got to like him trying to get Beatrice to come out of the library, it just was a back and forth argument between them for the entire rest of the episode that we kind of had an idea of how it was probably going to end up eventually.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it was the best writing ever, because there was a lot of just... They do this a lot in the show. There's a lot of circular arguing.
Yes.
And people saying the same point multiple times before someone else somehow talks them out of it. Mm-hmm. And I think that the writing could be stronger in those aspects. Like, they could make people actually be making different points back and forth instead of just saying the same things multiple times. And I don't really know why they choose to go with what they do, if it's just that they can't think of anything better, or if they're trying to use like a rule of 3 to make their points have an impact. They're like, this is very, very important to this character.
Yeah.
It's like, but overall, I'm just kind of like, on a rewatch, you know, I would probably like fast forward this scene.
Yeah, because it's just like, we know basically what's going to happen. It's like, Beatrice, choose for yourself, but I can't. It's not what was told of me.
It's like there are literally 2 outcomes for this. It's either incredibly tragic and Subaru fails to get her out, in which case he possibly even resets at this point, and then we have the last episode being him speed running back through everything he's done to try again, which would almost be a kind of like grown moment at this point, because he's gone through so much stuff to get to where he's at right now.
Yeah.
Or obviously the other answer is he manages to talk her out of staying and bring her out, which is what happened, which is what we were kind of expecting. So I don't know. It's just like, at this
Me
point,
neither.
like, I get the story you're telling and everything, and that kind of has to be a point of it, but it's just kind of, it's not my favorite part of that story by any means, I guess. Is how I would say it.
No, but I don't know, man.
It's like they were trying to be really emotional too, and I don't know about you, but they didn't really get me.
Not me either, and that's kind of sad because I like these characters. I like
they almost
I like
for like a second, but like not compared to some other emotional scenes in even this show, like already before, you know.
Emotional scenes that, like, you know, scenes that have impact and stuff like that, you know. Like, I would say, you know, looking back on Mugen Train from like Demon Slayer, the Mugen Train movie, the passing of, like, I don't want to give it away for anyone who hasn't watched Demon Slayer, but there's a character who passes away, and it hits really hard. It works because, you know, we saw this character struggle to the absolute maximum. They did everything that they could, and they still failed. Only by barely. They lost by just the tiniest hair. To see that struggle, we can relate to it because, you know, I hate to say it, but in life, you're going to fail. You are going to fail. You can dedicate so much time, so much effort, so much of your time and your life to something only for it to not work. I remembered I spent 2 weeks working on one video, a gaming video, and I was like, oh man, this is going to be awesome. People are going to love this. And I release it, and people are just like, oh, too much editing. I can't maintain focus on this because it's too like the editing's too sporadic. And then it was like literally like having my heart ripped out and just like smushed right in front of my face. Betty, like, where she's in a very extraordinary situation where we can't relate to knowing what it's like having to wait 400 years for somebody. So I guess that's where the emotional separation comes from. Just like us not being able to like completely relate to that. I can relate to failure. I can relate to, you know, Subaru having an emotional breakdown because he feels he's not worthy to guard Amelia. So instead he just says hurtful things to get her to go away, thinking that it'll be better if she's just not involved with him anymore. I've done that. I've said hurtful things to people because I felt like they would just be better not knowing me.
But on a counterpoint, I relate, like, not entirely because it's impossible to relate to, but like there are more emotional, impactful moments with Freeran. And there have been, I think, emotional moments with Betty before this scene as well.
To an extent.
Like maybe the first time that he came in to talk to her about all this, like we were kind of like, damn, like it kind of hit harder than this scene. I'm just saying, this scene in particular, I don't know if it's where the season's drawn out so long and we kind of know that everything is now in the phase of working out and has been for like 5 episodes or what it is, but it just didn't quite hit like a lot of other scenes, like even in this show earlier, like in like the first season have, you know?
Yeah.
That's, I don't know. Like, I'm not trying to trash on the episode really hard or anything. I'm just saying I don't know how I feel about it. Like,
And that's okay.
It feels like this episode should have hit me harder than it did. It's just all I'm saying, really.
I understand, dude.
It wasn't bad. It felt like it should have hit harder, you know?
I hear you.
And at least it's cool and it worked out. And it looks like the last episode of the season is going to be pretty epic and hype, hopefully.
Yeah, I mean, imagine if they actually kill the evil rabbit.
I'm pretty sure that's what's about to happen. I think Betty's about to nuke it out of existence.
With Subaru, of course, in tow. I'm not sure what the plan is with him.
Well, they said the only way to defeat it would be a big enough blast of magic to kill every bunny in one shot, basically. And I think Beatrice and Roswell are the only two that have the ability to do that. Roswell's trying to keep Ram alive and figure out his fucking life right now. Betty's the one that should be able to blow the bunny out of existence, supposedly.
Yeah. Well,
after that, I don't know what's going to happen because I don't know what the whole deal with the Witch of Envy showing up was still, but that's still probably something that we have to look forward to next episode. That's going to be scary.
Yeah.
If it does still happen.
We'll see.
That's like the one thing we didn't have any answer for at all is why she showed up all of a sudden. We might get that answer next episode. Like I said, you said there's only one episode left after this, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's still a lot of questions I have that I'm gonna be kind of irked if we're left on red for this.
Maybe they'll answer some of your questions, but we'll see. We'll see in the next episode. But Alright, everybody. Thank you very much for tuning in. And until next time, I'm Nate.
I'm Nick.
Be good people. Take care. Peace.